Okay, let's talk through all these golf events that you have coming up.
Gabby, I'm glad you asked. Got my calendar right here. July 17th at Red Run, and then July 31st, I have the American Golf outing for the Cancer Society.
I also have the American Cancer Society golf outing on the 31st, and also I got yours on the 18th, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Whoa, boys, these are a lot of events and golf outings.
Well, you want me to miss my own golf tournament?
Gabby, they're all great golf.
I mean, this is...
Hold on. I got this. Guys, I got this. Don't worry about it. Hold on a second.
He always...
Hey guys, thanks for coming so fast. How are ya? Remember the guys from Randy Wise, right? Sir. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
Watch for the eye.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much. Brought to you in part by Premier Security Solutions, Fairway Packing Company, and Swiss Insurance. Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy
Big D.
right here on the Woodward
Big
Sports
D.
Network. My name is Neal. Ruhl. That guy over there, that's DMacs, Darren McCarty. Perhaps you're familiar with his work. Happy to have everybody with us. We got Sam Flannel in the house. Spenmo Rax is off today, so we went to JB Smooth. JB Smooth mixing and scratching here today. JB Smooth, what's popping with you, man?
Same old. Came off a very entertaining morning Woodward show. So if you didn't go and check that out, go back and listen to that because we just went off the rails. So it's been a good day so far.
I've heard. What was the crux of that? Like, off the rails about what? Who? I mean, I know who, but how?
Well, of course, it evolves around Adam, but
Right.
we went off the rails with Matthew Stafford, some Taylor Swift got mixed in there a little bit, along with some Jared Goff, and everyone's tasting women. That it was just off the rails.
I seen you, Taylor Swift broke up with her man, and I seen you might be in there. Didn't I see something on your Twitter?
Oh yeah, that was breaking news. I don't know
news.
how the paparazzi got the picture.
What's
but
your
somehow,
Twitter handle for people out there that want to check it out?
Twitter handle is JB Up Next. If anyone wants to go and check
literally
me out and follow
up next
me.
when it comes to T Swift.
Hey.
That's what they're saying.
She hit me up at
My
the
man
bar.
don't kiss and tell.
No.
Oh, never. I can't do that.
No.
So no breaking news here on Big D Energy on Woodward Sports.
No breaking news. I mean, we're still just together, trying to keep it low profile. I'll be at the show with her later on. She will be able to walk straight. It's okay.
All right, JB
My
Smooth.
God. Giggity.
All right, JB Smooth. That is quite enough.
So,
Messi to Miami, huh? No, look, that is incredible. Get involved in the woodwardsports.com
this is
chat
like,
thread.
we went from boozer to libido. So, I love that.
It's a natural progression.
That's it is. I love it.
It is a natural progression. Pete Smith in the woodwardsports.com chat threads with the What Up Dabber. I don't know. I don't see Dabber in there. So maybe that's it.
Who was first in?
Pete Smith was today.
Oh, way to go, Pete.
Yeah. Tammy Chin says, good morning, Dabber, Pete, Jay, etc. Good morning to all of you out there. Appreciate you guys tapping in, as you always do. So jump on in there. I do have to give a couple of shout-outs. And, D-Mac, you know one of these. My son trains at Proving Grounds Jiu-Jitsu gym. It's in Macomb. Yeah, it's in Macomb, which is right next door to Cicerelli Sports Bar, as a matter of fact.
Been there once or twice.
So, full disclosure, on the days where they're having like the mass youth classes,
You're over there drinking bourbon.
I'll slide over. Now I'm doing work too.
I'm working.
I'm working.
Well, you can multitask.
I can multitask.
Yes.
That makes the tab deductible too. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so I did meet Matt, one of the bartenders there at Cicerelli's. He says he's your guy. You've been there a long time. Big fan of yours, obviously.
Absolutely.
And he wanted me to tell you what's up.
Yeah.
So Matt, what's up?
What's up, Matt?
Yeah.
Always takes care of us, all the Dino's crew, whenever we roll through there. So if you haven't been, 21 and Hayes. Cicerelli's.
21 and Hayes, yep.
Great place.
Out there in Macomb County.
Up there.
I don't typically journey down, the highest elevation in Macomb County too often to sit with the common folk, but I do, and I enjoy my time.
And that's one of the places that you will find Neal.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, too, big shout out to a listener of the show, Joe Klein. So check this out. He's a high school kid, and he's getting ready for finals, and when he's studying for finals, he listens to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
I love it.
Said he was all bricked up for finals.
Bricked up for finals. Yeah. Well, dude, I like that attitude. Joe, that's a good attitude. I can't say that many people do, but that's the positive attitude. Smoke right through those things. That reminds me, if you saw, I sent a picture to the group. I was down at Wayne State for the Grand Prix. They were having the fights down there, XFC or whatever. But a kid came up to me with the Stoke Not Scared Woodward shirt.
Yeah.
Love it. Stoke Not Scared. Stoke Not Scared. Stoke Not Scared. Stoke Not Scared. All of it. It's bleeding. The Lions have initiated, and it's bleeding into all the other teams. So shout out to everybody out there. Continue to come up and say hi when we see you. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, no question about it. So just wanted to send the shouts out to everybody that's tapping around. It's a movement out there. Zachary Jones, what up, though, Neal? Zach, what up, though? Appreciate having you in here. Got some Lion stuff to get into in the mix. There's actually a lot of Lion stuff on the sheet as well.
I do see, obviously, June 7th, 1997, 26 years ago, we brought our first cup back to Detroit, 42 years. I appreciate everybody, whether it's on my social media or during the woodwardsports.com chat thread. I do appreciate all the thoughts and memories, and it's crazy. It's crazy to believe it's been 26 years. A lot of the people out there weren't even born.
No, it is getting in the rearview mirror. There's no doubt.
So Neal, put it in perspective. That I was 25 when we won, and it's been 26 years. So,
you're further away from
further
it.
away
than the beginning.
That means anything.
And speaking of that, Pete Smith said, Neal, please have DMac break down the goal against the Flyers. No shade. One of the most surprising goals I've ever seen. And Pete, it's funny you bring that up because I've talked about this with DMac before, and it's something that I noticed even before DMac and I had been working together for about 10 years. Even before meeting DMac and all that stuff, it really is one of those things that opened my eyes, as I've said to you before, about how effing good you have to be a professional athlete. You as an OHL 50-plus goal scorer, big-time goal scorer in the OHL, you knew right off the rip, that's not going to be my role in the NHL. I'm going to have to grind it out. But, Pete, I guess that's a long way of me saying you had that in you. Like, everyone was surprised, but you had that in you. You had to, dig it out, but you had it in you.
No, I knew what the bread and butter was to play physical, and especially I grew up a Wings fan. Everybody knows the story. In Leamington, Ontario, the house I grew up in, give or take the border, was 45 minutes to my house. So I grew up in the Dead Wing era, and all I wanted to be was the Robin to Kosher's Proby and Batman and help Stevie win a cup, and I knew the role that I had to play on this team, and that's why I cherished it, is because I watched it growing up and I knew what I needed to do. But again, Kirk Maltby had 50 goals his last year. Junior Darren McCarty had 55. So that's 105 goals on the wingers of the grind line, and Malt scored some big goals himself. So Drake scored some big goals.
Break down the goal, DMac. Give me the goal.
And I got to break it down. You got to go back to the summers after 95 and 96 when I went to Sweden for a month each and worked in hockey schools with 8, 9, 10, and 11-year-olds, not teaching it, working in these schools, doing drills. And one of the drills, and I call it, if you read my book, My Last Fight, True Story of a Hockey Rock Star, and which at the end of the month, Astronomicon were releasing the graphic novel of it, so more to come with that. But the fact is that each day, whether it was with the 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, so I was over there for a month, for a week, the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you'd practice pulling it out, pushing it in, pulling it out, pushing it in, pulling it out, pushing it in, doing all these drills, skating around the rink. Like, it's become so monotonous or whatever. It's muscle memory. I take it back to the second period, right? In the game, second period, we're up 1-0. Puck goes into Vladdy, up the board is Thomas Sandstrom. It was a line change. I knew Philly was on a line change, right? But responsible grind line right winger through the middle. I got the puck. Darren McCarty, Want to get to the red line, dump it in. If you watch, Unrivaled, or you watch all the replays, even the guys are yelling from the bench. And I can hear them, but when I go to dump it in, I sort of flap it, and I automatically, it's muscle memory, and I end up doing this toe drag and remember, oh my God, I got my knee, because like you said, I'd scored a few goals in junior, and I'd been in that position before, and I just remember oh my God, I got him beat, being Neenum of the defenseman, and out of the corner of my eye was this orange fleck. And you know what? It took me until last year that something clicked to me, because I grew up in Leamington, Ontario, right? And at the time, the colors I grew up playing in were red and white. Our number one rival was the Essex 73s-ish, and they were black and orange, just like the Philadelphia Flyers. So how many times had I seen that jersey in my life, and I was able to pull it around Ron Hextall, get it to about this far in the crease, and you know why I scored, Neal? Because I said, please don't miss the net. Double pirouette, 5.6 or 4.6 by the Russian judges. But then I came out of it, and the first guy I see is Steve Eisman with his eyes the size of dinner saucers going, what the F was that? Me, I don't know, and him telling me, which is 99.9% of the time, is why it's hashtag why is it playing 1919. He says, thank God you don't have to do it again. And then Eric Lindros, right, as Sam so poignantly puts it when he's legend killing me. So Eric Lindros scored with 17 seconds left to make my goal, the Stanley Cup clincher.
Yep.
But it also, I'm glad that he did, not only because of that, but I was on the ice for the final buzzer for that, and that's a memory that I'll always have. So hopefully that explained it. So what you put in to get out. So the fact that I was always willing to go above and beyond and do whatever it took, and that's so Sweden paid off.
You know what's amazing about that? And Flannel, you even have to chime in on this. You got this man where they won President's trophies and heartbreak after heartbreak in the NHL playoffs. This guy's a professional playing with some of the greatest hockey players of all time. This man is in Sweden working out with 9, 10, and 11. Who would do that? For real, Flannel, for real. No bullshit. Who would do that?
Somebody who has the dedication, maybe somebody who is, I wouldn't say fighting for a spot, but obviously you knew your role. You knew all the Hall of Famers that were on that team. You had to carve out a role for yourself, and the fact that you did all that extra work, that is very, very commendable. It obviously paid off. I mean, I give you credit where credit is due. You had the game-winning goal in overtime against Colorado in the regular season, and then the insurance goal in Game 4 to put you guys ahead 2-0 in the Stanley Cup. Those are phenomenal moments in Red Wings history. Despite what you all may think in the chat, I'm very, very happy that the Red Wings won those cups. 4 of them. I am. So credit where credit is due.
Dan Wood says Anthony Davis would do that, just saying. So Data Davis, he was in the basketball academy in Sweden working out, I'm sure, during the off season. So that's what it takes. I'm having this discussion, like I was telling you about my son at the training at the jiu-jitsu gym.
Yes.
And he's had a little bit of success, and I could tell he's kind of like feeling it a little bit, And I'm like, dude, that's over with, man. Like, that has no impact on today, and that I want him to do that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, here you are, a professional athlete, working out with 10 and 11-year-olds in Sweden doing hand drills. Like, and think about it too, right? There's a million other things you could be doing with your off season.
Yeah, but again, to Sam's point on a bigger level, is that's about being the best, playing your role to the best of your ability for your team. Like, and I wasn't the only one. Other guys, would be doing different things to make sure that we weren't going to be denied. So at the end of the day, like I always say, one of the things is I grew up no what ifs, right? Don't sit back and say, well, if I would have done this, if I would have done that, I've been able to just do it or don't. There's no what ifs.
Yeah.
So just do it.
You're either doing it or you're not doing it.
No regrets.
No regrets, as they said. Jake Wegener says, Street Clothes AD likes training with the 8 to 9-year-olds because it's easier to play in his jorts. So I'm sure that's it. Hey, half man, half a series. So There you go.
First ballot Hall of Famer, NBA champion.
And he'll be on display in the Hall of Fame on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then the next week it shifts to Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
So disrespectful. Anyone with those numbers you guys would have. If you gave a blind resume of Anthony Davis, you'd say first ballot Hall of Famer. But because it's him and the media and people like you have decided that he's soft and he sucks, NBA narratives
I didn't say he sucks.
No, I know.
I said he's half man, half a season.
People like you.
NBA narratives are the
Just call me
dumbest
you
things.
people.
I'm not going to call you.
Go ahead and say it.
No.
Say what you want to say. Tired of you people, Flannel. Say the word you want to say when you say that stuff.
Not going to say it.
All right. Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast that's out right now called called This Is the S Word, helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Thesportsma.com. Check out the podcast. The Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty back with you here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Sam Flannel, JB Smoove in the house as well. So Smoove, his name ends in a V, everybody. That's all you need to know. Did not confirm the new love interest of Taylor Swift, but didn't deny it either. So, you know, I'm sitting here watching just like everybody else is. So we'll see how things work out. Dan G says maybe Sam should accomplish something besides 290 days of flannel before he craps on the accomplishments of pro athletes moving forward. Superstars are nothing without the supporting cast.
I think it's 292 to be specific.
Yeah, how many is it?
Yeah, it's 292.
Yeah.
And what did I say that was disparaging, at least in this first segment? I would say nothing.
It's just your tone.
It's just your tone. As I've learned. As Mike G says, Neal gives chatters the rear naked tone choke every day on this show.
Mr. Detroit City, if only Flannel contributed as much to Woodward as DMac did to the Wings.
That's fair.
Is that fair?
That is fair.
That actually is fair.
Hey, you know what? He's only in his second season, or maybe is this still your rookie season, or are you in your second season?
I'm in my second season.
Oh, you are? Okay. Sophomore jinx. Maybe it just takes took Mo Sider a little bit, like the Mo Sider. It took him a little bit to get going this year. You'll figure it out. Ray, maybe we shouldn't be so hard on you in your sophomore year. A lot more responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I appreciate it.
You know what? All right. We'll see. Maybe you can bring a championship. But thanks for that, Mr. Detroit City. You made me feel better today.
Robert Closius says, I got a cupcake yesterday for cleaning up after the pirate party, I would assume at school. You know it's an all-week process. Neal, are you going to help your wife tear down her classroom? I got the show. You know, I used to. When I had the time, I would go in there and do it.
Absolutely.
Which I was always critical of her. I'm like, you got 30 workers here.
That's true. That's true.
Let's get it pushing.
Well, you did so. The workers aren't there when you go in to be able to unionize them and stuff, right?
Absolutely.
You make sure that they're gone, and you have to go do it yourself, one-man crew.
Absolutely.
But you also have your workers, right? That you could bring in your kids.
Yeah.
You're not afraid to put them to work.
I know, but they're
just afraid
reluctant
to work.
Yeah, they're
just
reluctant.
afraid to work.
Yeah,
they're just allergic
100%.
to it.
Yeah, 100% they are.
Teenagers.
Did want to jump into this, and this is Lions related, and I'm glad that this has come to light because, as you guys know, I'm a Jared Goff supporter, and so far, DMac, would you say I've been proven right with my take?
Yes.
That Jared Goff is here. He's here at a discount. While the production is roughly the same, He makes far less money, so he is of value.
I think what's important too is explain to the people, maybe just do a little recap, is that you had to get there, right? And the money, the contract,
Yes.
and once you understood and got there, then it explained, and it's more so, it's not. Is it fair to say it's not Jared Goff, but it's more so to Brad Holmes' plan and how Goff has taken the ball, so to speak, and done exactly what you thought Brad Holmes thought he would do.
Absolutely.
Are we right there?
Well
Because you
said.
weren't there immediately, the
No, I wasn't.
contract. So I think that's important to tell because a lot of people out there are like that. Spenny's not here today, and I'm not sure how JB feels about it, but Spenny's one of those reluctant Goff guys, but accepting to the fact that you can't say that he doesn't deserve the opportunity for what he's done.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it better myself. Whether you're a Goff truther, as Spenny likes to say that he is, you're a Goff denier, you're a Goff simp, wherever you sit in the middle. If you're like me, you're a Goff supporter.
Yes.
You cannot deny the following statement. None of you cannot deny the following statement. Jared Goff has provided tremendous value for what his cap number is, what his contract situation is, in relation to the rest of the NFL, and in particular the NFL quarterback position. Can't deny it.
Hard stop.
Hard stop. Flannel, mark me on this, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
agree, 100%.
You can't deny it. In a, as I always like to say, in a league and in a world where Kyler Murray makes $47 million, Jared Goff makes $32. Aaron Rodgers will make almost $60 million in cash
Well,
this
you
year.
got Deshaun Watson. You look at Lamar. I mean, it's just the way the way
can't
of the
deny
world.
it.
Now also too, because I think you're telling us this, because one of the things, and we talked about signing Hopkins yesterday, which would cost you around $15 million. Would you do it or not? But are the thought process in about the renegotiation with Goff now? So the explanation is that we believe, that's on the books or something that Brad Holmes, it's more of a priority, and because you look that you're going to get him at more of a value to what the rest of the quarterbacks are, so that you can put that money to other guys.
Right.
And maybe because of that, you could get the Hopkins guy, right? Neal, it makes sense because you're spending the money effectively, efficiently, and not hurting your team.
Yeah. Ryan's reaction says, because when shopping for quarterbacks, I always search for the keyword valuable. Come on, Neal. Ryan, that's what this league is. Whatever GM can get the most players that perform above their contract, that's the name of the game. That's how you win in the National Football. It's math, bro. It's not even sometimes, I know we love to get caught up in formations and philosophies and all that kind of stuff. This is very simple when you boil it all down. Have more guys that outperform their cap number. Therefore, you have the ability to go get even more good players. That's how this works. It is not that hard. Now, the ability to identify those players, that is the hard part. But so far, so good. Look, I don't want to get to this point 4 minutes into the segment, everybody. I can feel myself getting worked up right now because people want to argue fact and math. Again, the following statement is true. Jared Goff at $32 million in today's NFL is a good value. You cannot deny that.
It's a great value.
Yes.
Great value.
It's not good value. It's great value.
You cannot deny it. You can't. That's period. And I will not address it. We will move on from that point. The thing here is, too, with me, DMac, and I'm glad you got me back to square one on this. Good job on your part. Because I had the questions, right?
Yeah.
And when they tacked a year on to Goff's contract right off the rip, I was like, whoa. I don't know that I like that. But then as later it came to light where Brad Holmes said, yeah, we extended him. It was going to fit into the timeline of our process. We needed to do something for cap purposes at this time. That's why we did it. Okay, I'm with you. And now it's played out, and you can't dissent it. You can't argue against it. That's just what it is.
So in moving forward, would you not expect to see similar moves, whether it comes to Goff or different guys when it comes to the extensions and stuff like that?
I would think that.
Like
but here's the key component of all this for the Spenmos and for the Ryan's reactions and our WoodwardSports.com chat thread of the world. Dan Campbell verbalized something that I thought but I never really brought to light essentially when Goff got here. Because, look, was he a distressed asset when he? You know my terminology, right? Distressed assets.
Yeah.
That's like Mikal Bridges, right?
Yeah. How'd that work out?
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Miles Bridges is another one right now, right?
Oh, he's the dictionary definition of a distressed asset right now.
Yeah. From the Pistons side, like I would like to take a look at that right now. The Miles Bridges distressed asset. I believe Jared Goff was a distressed asset when he came here.
At least it would. Well, you always said because there was 2 different transactions, and you were given a first rounder to take him off the books. So distressed asset. Does that mean that from the Rams that he was like distressed? Like he was out there like pretty much given away, right? Like
you were compensated
to take him. So if that's not a distressed asset or viewed on it, but he's definitely, to what Dan Campbell is saying, right, is not the same quarterback.
And that's it. And JB, I know you got the video.
And how can you say he's the same quarterback? When did the LA go with him to the Super Bowl? 7 years ago? Come on, man. You're not the same person you were.
And that is it. And through it all, DMac, that is something that people forgot about.
Can I just comment?
Sure.
Here's the only thing you have to, right? And I saw this tweet and I laughed, right? Somebody brought up the fact, hey, did you see that Jameson Williams commented on Twitter about Lamar Jackson's contract or something? And they asked Jared Goff, he says, you guys really are digging for stuff to write about. Like, get a life. Right, which means that the commitment to that he's not the same person. He's a leader. To me, that's the leadership and the comfortability, what I see him, of self-awareness to know who he is. Not only that, but as a quarterback. Now, he can't do it himself. He's not Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and he's more aligned that needs the team around him and understands that, and so do the people that put the team around him, and the coach and the general manager. So, he's not. Why do we always seem, Neal, or am I wrong? Why does it always seem when people bring up the detraction of Jared Goff, it's from when he was with the Rams?
I don't know. Because they can't say anything about what he's done here. You can't. What are you going to complain about that? You can't.
Yeah,
it's one of the
guys
best.
Are really bored, huh? Thanks, Councilman. That was his quote. That was Goff's quote.
Yeah,
and that seems what it is. But he's not the same person. With the team around him, I want a guy like it's set up. We always said that you have to build the team around him. You have to protect him, right? Everything is set for this guy to captain this ship.
Lorena Rio says, "Is Neal a distressed asset?" I would say no. I would say I am of that. I provide more than I cost. That's how I would describe me, Lorena.
Sam Flannel is a distressed
Sam
asset.
Flannel is quickly becoming a distressed asset if he is not one already.
Oh, I thought he was before he even started.
Yeah, but we do have the Dan Campbell video. We're going to get to that in the next segment because he brings up something that I do want to discuss. And it's out there, and I've touched on it, but I never hammered it home, and I'm upset at myself that I didn't. However, DMac, if the people want a good haircut, we will hammer this home for them.
Yeah, and we're hammer home the fact that how would you like to win not one but 2 vehicles of your choice? Maybe one for you and your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. You get the Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, DMac, Darren McCarty here in the house, Sam Flannel. And of course, we have JB Smoove in the stead of Spencer Raxter just for today. Spenmo's got some stuff going on he's got to deal with today. No problem. JB Smoove steps in. The show goes on. The show goes on. We're talking Jared Goff right now, and Dan Campbell articulated something that I've touched on in the past, but I didn't die on the hill for, and I should have hammered this home more. But for those of you that missed it, we have some Dan Campbell sound on Jared Goff being a better quarterback than he was in LA.
I mean, he's a better quarterback than he was there, in my opinion, because he can do more things. He's mentally on it. I mean, we've come light years ahead of where he was 2 years ago when we walked in and just started teaching him protections and really, dove into that.
And that was Dan Campbell talking about Jared. And DMac, I did touch on this, but like I said, I didn't die on the hill for it, and I should have. When he got here, he was 26 years old. People forget that, man. 26. He's 28 now. Coming off arguably one of his best seasons. Like, why did we not account for that? That there was room for Jared Goff to still grow? DMac, were you the player at 25 that you were at 28?
No.
Nobody is.
No. And those are the sweet spot years. The 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, into about 30 years old or whatever, where self-awareness of what you were. I think that Dan Campbell nailed it right there, right? He had to learn a bunch of different things. He's not the same quarterback. He's got more tools in the toolbox. And now it's more on display. And when I see that, when I see my coach get excited, when I see my quarterback coach, my GM, why isn't it good enough for me if it's good enough for them right now, right? With what they're putting together. So benefit of the doubt. So why wouldn't you expect? I mean, he could even have a better season next year. And that's crazy for people to think. And I think that the naysayers are just like, I don't know. In sports, you just sometimes, and I'm guilty of it too, you sort of you hang something on some guy, right? Some player, some athlete, right? That they can or they can't do, right? And then it sticks for a long time and it takes a while. I don't know what he has to do more. I guess that's the question. What more does he have to do? Is it strictly winning a division, winning a playoff game? Is it part of what we expect out of the team? Or is it a stats thing? That when the naysayers are the people that don't like him, and I'll even say the truthers, right? What is it that we're looking for? Like, what is it? Is it a number, or is it strictly go when it's a playoff game and then you've crossed over? And
DMac, addressing that, that I've been consistent with this, where when it comes into next year for Jared Goff, it's not a numbers thing. It's a pass-fail situation. That's it. You win a playoff game, you pass. If you don't win a playoff game, you fail. That's where we are right now. Like that's where we are. Now
that's on the team, but is that specifically on Goff too?
Yes,
so Goff and the team
because they're attached. They're attached to each other. You need Goff to win a playoff game, and to win a playoff game, you need Goff.
But I call BS because then the people are like, if he puts up subpar numbers and they win playoff games, still people will argue the fact that his numbers weren't that good.
But I see,
and if
you do something that an organization hasn't done in 30 years and you're the quarterback for it, you can't. What are you going to say to that? Like you can't say anything to it.
I don't know. Let's ask Flannel.
Flannel, for real.
It's the
real
Flannel
talk.
Crew that would
and you know what?
Arguing.
It's good that we go to Flannel because this is nuanced conversation. This isn't statistical. You know what I'm saying, Flannel? And like, look, what you're good at, is making an argument. Here's why I think it, based on hard facts, and it's true. And I like to live in that space too. But being in it and working in it, and sometimes it's nuanced, Flannel. Sometimes it is.
Well, let me kind of attack this a couple of different ways. If the Lions win a playoff game and win the division, and Jared Goff is the quarterback, even if the numbers take a little bit of a dip, that is a 100% pass, and I will give you that. My thing is, did anybody blame Jared Goff for the Lions not making the playoffs this season? I don't think so, and if you did, I think you're a little bit stupid because you saw how the offense performed this past year. Even with the numbers.
Hold on, Flannel, real quick, because I've seen like Brandon talk about this too, like the New England thing and the Dallas game thing. Patrick Mahomes at Cincinnati, mid. He was.
Yeah.
He's not a robot, man. Like you're going to play a couple bad games in a season. You just are.
And it's about the totality of what you do. As you just said, everybody has their bad games. Everyone. Like you said, even guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, they all have bad games. My thing is, I was saying we agree that it wasn't Jared Goff's fault that they didn't make the playoffs last season. Obviously, the offense was humming. He put up some of the best numbers of his career, and even some of the numbers that Spenny brought up yesterday, they were mind-blowing, and it made us think, oh my goodness, the defense really blew this season even more. So I'm not saying it's likely to happen because the defense obviously retooled a lot in the offseason. Brad Holmes did that particularly with the secondary. But what if the Lions have a top 5 offense and, I don't know, a bottom 10 defense and they don't make the playoffs? I don't consider that a failure on Jared Goff. I consider that more of a defensive failure. Or say if they go to a playoff game and Jared Goff throws 4 touchdowns, no picks, and the defense gives up 40. So that's where I draw the line. But I do agree that if the Lions do win the division and make a play and win a playoff game, it's a successful season for Jared Goff.
No doubt. Brandon, Sam's take us back because the Lions' biggest game of the year was against Carolina, and he has a point after that. But I'll interject into this. Was against Carolina, where they gave up 300 yards rushing in the first half. Goff was horrible in that game. You cannot win in the National Football League if you give up 300 yards. I don't care. I don't give a shit who your quarterback is. You can have Mahomes backed up by Brady, backed up by Joe Montana. You are not winning that game. Period. End of story.
Sometimes it has to be just as simple as that. The Detroit Lions gave up the franchise record for rushing yards in a game to the Carolina Panthers to Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman.
End of story.
End of story. That's the main. That is the reason they lost that game. Full stop.
That's it. That's all.
That's everything.
No, but the moral of the story is this: is why is there no room for improvement with Goff? Why can't Goff continue to improve? He's 28. Can Patrick Mahomes improve?
Of course.
You know, like
Jared Goff isn't Patrick Mahomes.
No, I know that, but
yeah.
you know, it's still the same principle.
You know what I love too, and I saw it in the chat. I think it was Huron City, or apologize, but brought up the fact is when you listen to Goff, he's very self-aware, right? He knows he had some stinker. Like he's very self-aware when he talks or when he's interviewed, and I like that. So the fact is, when you're self-aware like that, I think that he doesn't try to play outside of himself. He realizes what he's good at, and then that's why can we not agree that the offense that it has been put around him is to make him better also, right? Talented guys. That's why they go out and they get, you know, a guy like a Laporta and the guy like Gibbs and stuff like this is you know, more weapons, right? More weapons. Even say what you want, and regardless of what happens with Hopkins and Jameson Williams being out, you know, I know Josh Reynolds is a security blanket. Always has been since day one. And then Marvin Jones coming back. You know, I like Marvin Jones. He's a veteran guy. Then you got Khalif Raymond. So a lot different looks, but I like the self-awareness, and that's one of his greatest assets.
Right. And you know, I there's about 4 minutes left in the segment.
Yep.
Do we want to let it devolve? Because I'll let it devolve with the best of them, and I'll get to this point right now. Daniel Jones got $45 million a year. That's the floor for Goff's contract. The floor. Lions have zero chance to win anything paying Goff $45 million a year. Zero. All right, then let's let it devolve then, because when you draft at the level that they've drafted at, that's the only way you can win. What? So tell me this, guys, Brandons of the world and stuff like this. So tell me this. You are in your window now to compete, whether you're a year away or however you want to put it. They are in their window to compete right now to win it all, to do everything.
Our division is and stuff like this. The way you finished last year, you're in it now.
You are in it. So when you are in your window, you're telling me that what your play is to do is to say, hey, we've accrued all this talent, and now we're in Penei Sewell's walk year, and Amon-Ra St. Brown's walk year, and we're going to risk all this, and we're not going to go with the known quarterback. We're going to plug in a guy who's never played before. We're going to get a 50-year-old Aaron Rodgers. So you're telling me that's going to be your play? You're going to risk it all on that? That's stupid.
Risk it for the biscuit.
That's the dumbest stuff I've ever heard in my life. All this work that they've done through the draft, free agency, building the locker room, building the chemistry. You're going to step up to the crap table and say, hey, I know what's going to put us over the top. Maybe this quarterback will. No, bro, that's not what you're going to do. You're going to go with the known entity that helped you build this. That's how it's going to work.
And plus, the known entity that you've built around. You're built.
That you went and got.
If Jared Goff's a car, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are accessorizing his vehicle. Yes, you bought Hendon Hooker in the draft, but they're not working on that car yet. This is all wet. This is live and die with Jared Goff. He's already pretty much told you that. And be prepared, right? Like you are now for the extension. You're not going to be surprised when they give him the extension and how you're going to break down how it works out and how this means it makes availability because they push this off and push this off. But you'll be prepared when you hear that, right?
Yeah, and I just, again, I'm getting triggered already for it, and we've only dipped our toe in the water because it's only June. We're not even there. Honolulu Blue Sparty, Goff haters. Let's play a rookie at quarterback. LOL. That's what especially too, Honolulu Blue, like, it's Sewell's last year of his rookie deal and ASB's last year of his rookie deal. Now it's time to get the rookie in here and start at quarter. Like, say that out loud. It's egregious.
No, for the next 2 years, it's all Goff and whatever to whatever the extent. And if it doesn't work, whether it's an injury or they flat out don't believe in him, then Hooker gets a chance. But you don't want Hooker having a chance. You want to see Goff for the next 2 years and hopefully get you to the. But at the end of that, at least to the Super Bowl.
What about this, too, from Robert Closia?
Oh, well, listen to him. He's got good points.
The people in the chat are on point today, except for Catspot. But Robert Closia.
Catspot, out of control.
Yeah. Robert says, also it shows what a good coach Dan Campbell is. He was able to figure out how to push Goff's buttons, while McVay had no clue and overmanaged him. Really impressive by Dan Campbell. And Robert, look, first year in, I'll be the one. I'm honest about it. I'm one of the few honest people around here. First year in, I was like, what is going on here with this guy? For real.
Can we just call this the honesty desk?
Yeah, this is the honesty desk.
If you're gonna claim honesty, I'm automatically honest?
Yes.
Right?
You're the minister of integrity. You have to be.
Yes.
So I will put it out there, Robert, and say, you know what? I was like, this guy's a clown out here. He is. But you know what, though, Robert? Long game, you're right. And you're one of the few that's kind of put that out there. That went hand in hand with maybe he can be a better quarterback. Well, maybe, just maybe, there can be a better GM and a better coach to work with them too.
I know we're going to break, but have we not seen the maturation of Jared Goff, the man?
Yeah,
since being
listen
here?
to him do an interview.
Yeah, listen to him. I mean, I love and appreciate it, and it reminds me back in the day. He's like a cross between sort of has like the Stevie, but the Igor sort of like doesn't get overly excited, right? Everything, take it as it comes, and just let's move along. So I'm more and more sold each day, and like the councilman says, great on Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes for getting the best out of him, a la like Scotty Bowman used to do.
100%, man. Like that's maybe just maybe that's the case.
26 years ago, he did it really well, and we got to raise a trophy.
That's it. That's all, man.
That's everything.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you about Randy Wise. That's right. The Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. You know what it is. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely it is. How'd you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, some guy named Darren McCarty, and Braylon Edwards play golf with average Joes? Thanks to the Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you'll be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Make the wise choice. Pay attention to Woodward Sports for more information coming soon. The Randy Wise Automotive Team Celebrity Golf Tour.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Back out of here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel. We have JB Smooth in the house as well, in for Spenmo. Let's get Spenmo back tomorrow. But we're talking a lot of line stuff, the Jared Goff thing, and there is kind of a sidebar conversation. DMac addressed it. I really like the way that Jared Goff and Dan Campbell have kind of brushed off this Jamison Williams tweet story that was like, what was this, like 2 months ago? But all of a sudden now it's kind of getting a second wind and stuff like that. It is funny, and this is where, look, I'm in it, and I work in it, and I have a lot of friends, good friends that are in it. This is where the media stuff, and I'm seeing this with the Live Golf and the PGA Tour stuff. As I was we're here live at the Planet Fitness Studios, by the way. As I was on the treadmill today, banging out the miles, I look, and they have all the TVs on all the news outlets and sports outlets and all that stuff. And I see Bob Costas on one of the TV news stations up there. And he's up there talking about Live Golf and PGA Tour because, I go to Bob Costas for my golf information, number one. And this is a great opportunity for all those those pious media members to parachute into a golf story like Bob Costas and get their thoughts out there with what they take about this tweet thing. This is another opportunity for media to kind of parachute in. This is an older story. We know what the story is. I like the way Goff and Campbell handled this perfectly. And you talk about the maturation of Jared Goff and the leadership of Jared Goff. He's like, hey, he likes Jamison Williams likes Lamar Jackson. I got receivers that play for other teams that I like too. Like they're the same as
it's not an issue. You don't make it an issue, right?
Right.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
But that's leadership, and you know what? Quietly, he is Goff that quiet leader, even too more so, because don't we look at him like that? Soft-spoken sort of L.A. West Coast, doesn't really care. Like the carefree, but he definitely does. I mean, it sounds more too like he's truly one of the big leaders in that locker room, and this coming out just proves it.
No, it does, and I just that's a master's class on how you do that, because DMac, you've heard me say this before, like when you have things that happen, and this is something I learned from the leadership I worked under at Oakland in the past, is you go out. Greg Campy's big on this. Like when you have things that happen, you go out and you address it, because then where do you have to go? Like if you stand up there and you answer the questions, then what? I call it, you're taking the air out of the balloon.
Absolutely.
The balloon can't float away if there's no air in it.
Absolutely. It's like when you make a mistake or you're wrong, some of you in the chat thread should do this, is say, oh, okay, I got it wrong. Take the power away from it. Now what are you going to say?
And that's it. Like, it's very easy. It's very easy to figure out. And, I just like the way that they handled that. The line by Goff was great, though. I have receivers that are on other teams that I'm friends with, too.
You guys must be bored. You guys must be really bored.
Yeah, absolutely. This is stunning. Steve in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. I saw this and pulled it up on Twitter. And it's true. Rest in peace to the Iron Sheik, who was just announced he passed away. That's sad. Yep.
Wow, they just did his A&E biography on
which
Sunday
was very
night.
good.
Yeah.
Very good, by the way. So, rest in peace, Sheiky. Great on Twitter. That's what I'm most sad about, is he was incredible on Twitter. So yeah, that sucks. Sad to hear that news. But passed away at the age of 81, which, Sheiky outlasted a lot of them, man. And it was touch and go there for a while, so you didn't know exactly. Well, Chromium says we are getting old. DMac, we are getting old, man.
Absolutely. No, it's 26 years ago. It was, like I said, Longer than when I was 25 when I did it. So, I mean, it just tells you. And 25 to 26 is 51. Yeah.
Hey.
Chris Draper's 52.
Yes. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, though, talking about the whole Jameson Williams liking Lamar Jackson's tweet thing. Burberry Terry said he loves Jamo, though. Right. You see him run these routes. You see these clips and the impact he's had on the football field. I would love him, too, especially if I were a quarterback, man. So, again, there's not a lot there. I don't think that there's a lot there. Are we able to move past this? Flan, are we able to move past this finally or what?
I think with the way that Jared Goff and Dan Campbell handled the question, being very firm but not being a dick about it as to not sound defensive or anything like that, I think it's more of a nothing burger than a lot of people are making it out to be. I think the one reason why people won't be able to let this go is because Jameson Williams really hasn't played a whole lot with Jared Goff, and he's not going to play for the first 6 games of this season. But once Jameson Williams goes out and has that first 100-yard game, I think that's when it will finally be put to bed for some people. All of us, I mean, I don't care. You don't care.
No.
DMac, you don't care. JB Smoove, I'm sure you don't care. It's a nothing burger, and I love the way that Campbell and Goff handled it.
Yeah, and look, I've been consistent, too, with the Jameson Williams thing. For me, last year was a red shirt season. We all knew that when he was drafted. Everybody knew that story. And I saw enough. I saw him touch a football 3 times and score a touchdown all 3 times. I know that's not the narrative. The narrative is, well, how do you replace one catch? I mean, yeah, you can say it that way, or I can say it, he touched a football 3 times and scored a touchdown all 3 times. Because it's true.
Yeah, I don't know if... I think there's a narrative that's a little bit in between. I know we've already discussed this. I don't think it's how do you replace one catch. It's my antennas are still a little bit up that he only had 1, albeit his best play of the season was called back. I'm just saying though, I expect him to be very, very good when he comes back. Hopefully a star. I think that's his... Absolutely. Has to be.
Right, he has to be.
Yeah,
all bright lights.
He's created this environment for himself.
And because let's not forget how far Brad Holmes moved up to make it a priority to go get him in the first round. So
cost of acquisition.
Boom! I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you.
Cost of acquisition was great. So, that's what it is. It will be a big season. We'll have a lot of time to talk about Jameson Williams and the expectations and all that kind of stuff. Mike G says, I want to put Cat Spot in the camel clutch, break his back, and make him humble. We need Cat. This show needs Cat Spot 9,000.
Absolutely.
Though. We do. So, but yeah, just in case you're just jumping in right now, rest in peace, Iron Sheik passed away at the age of 81. And he certainly had his struggles, drinking and stuff like that, certainly later on in life, but held it together, made it to 81. Many of the wrestlers did not. That's a hard life.
First great heels in my lifetime.
Yes,
and obviously and always the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, the tag team, but that era in the mid 80s and stuff with Hulk Hogan. So. Sheiky baby. You're going to miss out on all the jabronis on Twitter.
Yeah. A good catch there, JB Smoove. I like that one right there. No, it is because he was incredible. Still, too, like when he would tweet, still getting on Hulk Hogan, calling him a jabroni and stuff like that. That was my favorite part of it. Would watch the sports, tweet about sports. I like how he called everything the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Everybody go after themselves.
Be nice to somebody. Be nice to somebody today, you dumb son of a bitch. Like that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Justin from North Carolina made me realize how much of an asshat Hogan and Shawn Michaels were. Made me love Triple H. And yeah, we could probably go down that road. I got the right guy sitting to the left of me here. If you did want to go down that road, Chromium, everybody is welcome here, even the brainless ones. That's my statement.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Look, we got Sam, so I mean, it just tells you that we accept everything.
To have good takes, you need to have people with dumb takes.
Yeah. So in order to be able to band together, and it's the consistency. Just be consistent.
Right. Who was it too? My apologies for missing out on it. But they asked me the question, Neal, do you think that the Lions will try to offer Penei Sewell kind of a lowball contract when his rookie contract is over, try to pay him like a right tackle, although he's a left tackle? No. because here's how this is going to have to go. And this is down the road, and it's relevant because you asked the question. He will be moving into that left tackle spot.
Yeah.
Because in order to keep somebody, and remember this too, this is a couple years away, but don't say old Uncle Neal didn't warn you. There will have to be pain at some point.
Ooh.
In order,
does there have to be?
If you want to keep everybody, there will have to be pain, and some of that pain will probably be in the form of Taylor Decker. That's my early.
But isn't that sort of the early writing on the wall?
Yes, that's my early writing on the wall. Is in order to keep everybody. Remember,
there's going to be a casualty.
There will be casualties. Just like I relate this to how we look at the football season coming up this year. When we all do all these prognostications, we all sit there and assume every single player at every single position is going to be healthy for all 17 games.
Right.
It's not how it works. It's not how the real world works. Somebody important will get hurt at some point this year. They just will. It's happened every single year to every single team that's ever played this game. Extending that into the future to keep all of these great James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, et cetera, there will have to be pain. And usually the pain comes in the form of what? Veterans. Yeah, I didn't make it this way. It's just the way that it is.
But it's because of the it's cyclical, so it's being able to have it replaced. But like you said, that's why plug and place Penei Sewell and his tailored gold jacket will be moving from the right side to the left side.
No question. Jack Harrington, can't wait for the NFL and college preview shows this year, Neal. You know how we're going to do it. I can't wait for those either.
Absolutely.
We're going to go back around the bend, too. We'll get Brent Brennan from San Jose State on again. 100% we're going to do that.
That's our guy.
That is our guy.
Because we are San Jose State.
Mountain West forever, everybody.
Absolutely.
We will
That's
do
where
it.
the get right. That's where the money comes in. There's a reason. Obviously, he's saying that because that's where the money comes in. But how about this? If you'd like to elevate your senses, embrace the harmony of nature, why don't you head to the Dispo Dispensary? Dispo Dispensary has over 10 locations in the Michigan area with experienced bartenders ready to serve your needs, whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or new to your plant life journey. Dispo.com today. They have you covered with whatever you need. That is disposhops.com, your local plug for cannabis.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, JB Smoove here in the house. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast, wherever you get your podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. Flannel, where do you get your podcast at?
I get them at Spotify.
Spotify.
Yes.
Okay. Are you subscribed to the Big D Energy podcast?
Well, of course I am. I mean, I upload them, so I got to do it. No, but I love you guys. I love the show. You should be subscribed to the Big D Energy podcast. And when you do, rate them a 5-star.
5-star, absolutely. Like Michigan's football recruiting classes, right?
Hey, I mean, they've gotten a couple 5-stars. J.J. McCarthy, Will Johnson, Jaden Davis coming in 2024 class. They're catching up. They're not quite there yet with the Georgias and Alabamas, but they're getting more 5-stars as the days go on.
Okay, so there you have that. We'll get into all that. Normally, I would take that opportunity to just go in, But we're not going to do that. Not today, anyway. Just kind of recapping everything that is going on as we go to hour number 2. I did want to ask you about this, DMac, because I brought this up a couple minutes ago. The whole Live Golf PGA Tour thing. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan.
Who hires this guy?
See, I would assume he's under contract. He cleared over $14 million last year. That's going to go up.
No, but I'm just saying because the backlash that I'm hearing about with all the PGA guys, and obviously they'd be mad too to have the loyalty and then to be, as a lot of them are saying, sell out to whatever else. Like, what's the backlash? But I'm just saying, like, can he be fired by the players? Is that how that works, or who's the owners? Like, who's his boss? Because I wonder what the compensation is that he took, and from the things that I heard is yesterday having the meeting is like so many guys were pissed and there's a lot of heated arguments, and how would you not be?
Yeah, I just wonder too. Like, what's funny too, the way that this narrative has switched in the media out there. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, well, that money's everywhere now. Like, look around sports; it's everywhere. I like the way people, the golf people, have done a 180.
They're dying on their cross, and I think it crosses over when, it's the reality. Whether it's ownerships and sports teams to whatever else, it's all there. But just here's the thing. But why not just be transparent about it? Right? That's the whole thing. At least you'd be more respected. This just looks like totally sold out and no loyalty to the guys that were loyal.
Again,
we're coming and go, okay, here the purses are going up or whatever, but everybody gets a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And those guys are sitting there with their bags already. And what's the lesson in all this, kids? Kids, what's the lesson in all this?
Get your bag when you can.
When
Get
the
your
bag is
when you
offered, you take it.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Teddy KGB, everybody.
Take your money.
Take the money,
willing
man.
To pay for it. We're willing to pay it.
All those guys that passed up on that money, dude, made an egregious mistake. Egregious. The only one I can make a case for would be Tiger, which is weird to say because he passed up about $800 million. But the corporation of Tiger Woods, the backlash of taking that money could have been more.
That's so much bigger than the golfer.
Yeah. But like Rory at $500 million or whatever those numbers were, should have taken it. I would have taken it.
Yeah, but at least Rory sticks to his gun and says, I still hate the Live Tour. You know what I'm saying? Come out. Like, it is what it is. I'll play wherever, but I still hate those guys.
Yeah.
So.
And that's it.
I respect that.
They were sold out. Every single one of those PGA Tour guys that said no to the Live Tour were sold out right in front of them. There's no way to sugarcoat that. There's no other way to describe that. They were sold out from under themselves.
Is this what it felt like when Baltimore or Cleveland lost the team to Baltimore?
It's got that kind of vibe. It's got like the Colts left in the middle of the night or whatever.
Or wherever that was. That's what it feels like, doesn't it?
It does, man. It does. It has that feel, man. And again, I love take note, everybody. The media that's out there saying, well, the Saudis, they're invested in this sports league and that sports league. A lot of self-justification going on right now, isn't there?
Pay him.
Which is
Pay
why,
that
DMac,
man his money.
I sit here in this chair and say, I'm about the bag. You'll never be surprised, DMac. Nope. If I walk in here one day and say, well, we had a good run, everybody, you'll say, I knew this day was coming.
Where am I visiting? Yeah. Where are we golfing? What's the nearest golf course to your new...
Great cash, homie.
It is.
Yeah, so that is it. Real quick, too, by the way. Like this wildfire thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just the air quality and stuff. And anybody out there, be careful, if you have asthma or anything like that, because just reading all the stuff. So where the fires either up north in Gaylord or in Canada and all throughout, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, and then obviously it's coming down from Quebec, and they have this.
They said yesterday New York City had the worst in the country, the worst
air quality. Yeah, Tammy says my asthma is horrible right now, and Dirty Dr. D says it's foggy AF over here in southwestern Michigan. And I've noticed it for a couple days, but yesterday I talked about taking my son to jiu-jitsu. Like when we walked out, I was like, Like you could smell the fire and I'm amazed by that a wildfire, what is Quebec, 1,000 miles from here, 1,500 miles from here, wherever, it's far. I know it's far. That's amazing to me that a wildfire there, even like when it was in Alberta and the smoke kind of blew out here.
Doesn't it amaze you that it's like into 2023 with technology and everything we can do that we can't contain it? That's how big it is.
You know what I've learned a lot lately, DMac? Like we're under this illusion of control. Like we have things controlled and we don't know what's going on. We don't know what to do when the pressure cooker's turned all the way up. We have no idea what to. We just kind of look around and wait for somebody else to handle everything.
0.0.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of my biggest takeaway from all this stuff that's going on. We just kind of look around. We're like, hey, isn't somebody supposed to be in charge of this? Hello? Hello?
Well, I see Steve Brown says in PA they're hitting it, and there's masks up and, up north, kids taking exams. So everybody just be aware. Just, California has wildfires all the time, stuff like that. And I remember being out there for that, but Alberta, I mean, it seems like it's all over. Is this the beginning?
Who knows, man? All I can say is we did it to ourselves. Is that a fair take?
Fair take.
Can we put that on the chat poll, JB Smoove? Did we do this to ourselves? Yes or no? Just leave it vague like that. That's kind of open to interpretation. Dirty Dr. D says 6 million acres. Bro, that is incredible, man. Like, it rains every day, and then it doesn't rain for a month. It rains every day for a month, and then it doesn't rain for a month.
And that's the wild thing, right? How the weather system's so far gone that it's not been able to contain this.
Yeah.
So.
I'm curious to see this poll. And I just in general, man, not even wildfires or anything like this. Did we do it? Sam Flannel, did we do this to ourselves?
Yes, and this honestly, this will show who in the chat is self-accountable and who is not. Because nobody's perfect. We all at least did something to ourselves. So this should be a 100% yes.
Nick Earl says humans are the worst. That'll be the next poll. Are we the worst? The answer, 79% of you say yes, we did this to ourselves. I do want to touch on this really quick, JB Smoove, because I think we have the Quandre Diggs social media post. Because Quandre Diggs is all of us. And between Quandre Diggs and to some level Darius Slay, who is actually with Matt Patricia now, ironically enough, they go to social media. I love how they hold it. I love how they hold the hate for Matt Patricia. I love how DMac, it's something, and look.
Well, what does that tell you, though? That shows you how deep
it was.
Personal and whatever. It's not like, and there's a different respect, right? This is a different heat than even Babcock heat, right? Babcock heat.
Yeah, you knew exactly where I was going to go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a different heat. Even Babcock doesn't have this much heat because there's an understanding to who he was, consistent to who he was. Like, this is even more, and the Babcock heat was that we proved that we could get beyond it and accomplish something regardless, right? It was bigger than that. This just keeps going and going and going. That sits in you as a man. These are man things, and especially with Quandre Diggs, who's highly respected and stuff, and with Darius Slay and all the stuff we hear coming out. This is disrespectful men stuff that you'll never, ever put behind, right? Because there's got to be ultimate proof that you've moved on. So, right?
And DMac, it's because, look, I'm not putting words in your mouth here. You are not a big Babcock guy.
No, it's the my way or the highway. It's seeing it coming from the Scotty Bowman, and it's about the guy next to you, and it's your role and stuff like this, and it's about treating each guy
the same
but
differently.
Yeah, no, you had to, and it's about finding. So Scotty taught you how to motivate, right? It's just that it just seemed to me, like I said, with Babcock, and it'll be. This is why it's interesting. Because you know that if anything, that I'm big on redemption or whatever like that, and the fact that we saw Babcock go to Columbus, we'll see somebody ask me my take on it, and I said, well, let's see it play out. Because has he learned something? Do we see the same mistakes that he's made? I don't think he's a smart guy. He's not going to make the same mistakes. So here's the difference too, right? Do I think that Mike Babcock can learn from his mistakes and be a better coach and a better person? Yes, I do think that that's there from what I believe in there. With Matt Patricia, right? These guys obviously, that's way beyond. Do you understand? Like there's no coming back, because I don't think they'd even entertain that.
I know. I love that Quandre Diggs and Darius Slay keep that energy. I love it. I'm here for that.
Because it's motivating for them.
Yes.
Right?
I love
and
it.
It's motivating for a lot. And you know what? So, and here's the one thing. You ask me, that's my personal opinion about it. You ask Chelly, his is probably different. Right? Where you'd never get a chance. And he's more like Diggs. He's more like Diggs and Slay to Patricia. So
it got our wheels turning about Matt Patricia. And I got a question for the audience when we come back, because I want to know. And I want to let you know that Strawberry Fest is on and popping at Big Boy as we speak. It can start with breakfast if you want to. Strawberry hotcakes, right? Pretty baseline. Strawberry Fest, strawberry hotcakes. You can get designer, though. They got a mouth-watering red velvet waffle as well. If you're not a big breakfast person, which I'm not, but I am a big strawberry bacon chicken wrap person, or you can have the salad, the refreshing summer splash salad. And dessert, that's what started all this. That's the point of all this. The strawberry pie. It's the OG of Strawberry Fest. They got the other designer stuff too. Deep fried vanilla Oreos. DMac will take that. Strawberry hot fudge cake. DMac will take that. All of it. Strawberry Fest. It's going on. Get into your local Big Boy today.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, JB Smoove here in the house. Chromium Dragon asks, can Detroit City be promoted to the MLS? I don't really know. If they pay the $350 million expansion fee, then yes, you can be promoted into the MLS. It's just that simple, isn't it? Messy to MLS too, by the way. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later on.
I was like, whoa. Speaking of bags, can we talk about how big that bag is?
Yeah, we will. We'll get into that coming up in just a little bit. Detroit City FC in action tonight, by the way. They are at Charleston, so you can peep that out on ESPN+. Obviously, I'm not on the call, or else I would be out of town right now.
First game with the new...
Oh, Dario Suarez. I believe he'll make his debut the following... Is it the home game against Orange County? I believe that's what it'll be. I didn't do the coach talk this week, you know, the media availability, because I wasn't on the call, so doesn't make sense.
No sense. But how about real quick?
Yes.
Is that transaction? What does that tell you? Does that say they're in the water? Do you like the move?
Yes.
Because it adds some offense, right?
Yes. He can score goals,
dude,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he plays for the Cuban national team, played in some Gold Cups, scores a lot of goals.
Is that one of the things that Trevor James and DCFC being able to make the move because of how well they've played lately? Is that one of the opportune things? Like, does it happen like that?
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's more of a 35,000-foot thing. Like, you know where you're deficient, right?
Right,
and they've struggled to score goals.
Going out and acquiring somebody that wasn't.
he has a checkered history with Detroit City FC, like competing against Detroit City FC. This is a kid.
How will the Northern Guard
we're gonna see
embrace him?
Yeah,
if he
we're
scores,
gonna see.
They'll embrace him hard.
You know, I mean,
like
it's going to be put to the test.
Yes.
This is like when Chris Chelios came to the Red Wings.
Awesome.
It is like there is that level of hate.
So there could be that level of love.
So there could be that level. Only somebody you can hate that much can you love that much. You know, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Pro sports, man, is a wild place. Absolutely wild. But yeah, but it got us to thinking. We were talking about Quandre Diggs and how he liked a tweet that was critical of Matt Patricia. So it got us to thinking here, was Matt Patricia Detroit's biggest mistake coaching-wise?
In the history of the world? Of Detroit sports
sports coaching-wise, because love him or hate him, it can't be Babcock because they won a cup. Y'all won a cup.
Right. No. It's
Can't
not
be.
even in the same. Babcock's never in the same category. It's more of what could have been, or coaching style, or this is the why.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the way, there it was. Somebody tweeted out filet mignon versus hamburger helper, and it was Pete Carroll.
But it's not, dude.
Matt
Why
Patricia.
are you dissing hamburger helper? I mean, come on, hamburger helpers. Some of us love that stuff, so don't be dissing hamburger helper. It's more like hamburger helper versus
Spam.
Well, I don't know. Spam. Some people like that.
Nobody likes Spam.
Yeah, if you're from Hawaii.
Nobody likes Spam.
Fried Spam sandwich.
All right, real quick in the background, then we can close this one out. Did we do this to ourselves? We were talking about the wildfires, and I asked a question. Like, look, just in general, have we done this to our? You look around at our political climate right now. We're getting wildfire
I got the ultimate
smoke.
question. No, I got the ultimate question. Right, Matt Patricia or Al Avila? Who set an organization back more, or
Al
who
Avila.
do you have more? Now, that's right. So that question answered. So we can't because he was a GM. But more hatred to what he did to your team.
Al Avila.
Okay.
Al Avila.
Is that comparable?
There's external reasons to this. Number one, it's quicker to reshuffle the deck in the NFL. Brad Holmes did it in 18 months? More or less? 2 drafts, and boom.
But Al Avila is a better person than Matt Patricia.
I don't know them either. Okay. I don't know either of them personally. I suspect Brad Holmes is a better person than Al Avila.
Ooh.
Because Brad Holmes doesn't have it in his heart to let a franchise fall into disarray like this. Nor is he ill-equipped for the job. Sorry. Baseball's the thing, DMac. Like, I joke with you about it. I watch the Tigers pretty much every night in some capacity. It is, like, I watch every play of the Lions game, obviously. And I watch pretty much every night. I watch Tigers baseball. So for him to destroy that in a way that he's destroyed it, it's Al Avila. Al Avila's worse than Patricia because, again, somebody was able to fix it in 2 years. It will take years to fix the Detroit Tigers. Half a decade at a minimum. It's hopeless. And they're 4 games out of the division lead, and it's still hopeless. So for me, it's Al Avila's the worst. If you want to, if we're talking coach / GM wise, I would say that it's Al Avila because he was given the keys to a Ferrari and crashed it 30 seconds after getting it, like pulling out of the parking lot, crashed it,
and then got a Maserati and
crashed that too, and now we got a Chevy Cruze with 180,000 miles on it that starts sometimes.
Something like that.
Like I wish we could take this team to Feldman Chevrolet, who, shout out Rack, by the way, bought a new Silverado at Feldman Chevrolet. His rebates were no joke, everybody.
And then went lording over the people. Right?
No, absolutely. But I'm curious, was that the worst? Was that the worst? Was Matt Patricia the worst? I don't know if you put Quintricia kind of together. Was it the worst? And the reason I think it gets a lot of credit is because Quandre Diggs, Darius Slay, guys that were here, I think that would flourish in today's environment with the Detroit Lions if they were here now. Would love it here, would flourish here. They never miss an opportunity to throw shade. at Patricia
That tells
publicly.
me how personal it is.
That tells you
See,
how
you don't
personal
see
it
shade
is.
thrown at Alavila, except by sports media or by by people that do what we do, talking about what he did to the team. Right? They talk about how personal interaction.
That's fair. Uncle Neal, soft feet. Stan Fat Bundy is pretty awful too. MFer destroyed our Pistons. Did he though? Like, he got him to the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't put. I don't think there's any Pistons coach that can be on the list. I think one that absolutely has to be in consideration, of course, is Matt Patricia. If there was one other name that I can think of, and I actually had to look this up to make sure there wasn't anyone worse than Matt Patricia, how about Marty Morningweg? I think he gets lumped into the same tier as guys like Rod Marinelli or Dick Duran or Steve Mariucci or something like that. Marty Morningweg
outmatched.
Yes, 5-27 in 2 years as a Detroit Lions head coach. I just looked that up, and he was coming in following the Wayne Fontes era, and also the year after Gary Moeller took over for Bobby Ross midseason and almost led them to the playoffs. And then the next 2 years under Marty Morningweg, they had, even for the Lions, probably their worst 2-year stretch in the history of their franchise, besides maybe 08 and 09. But still, Marty Morningweg, I don't think gets enough flack for how terrible he was.
Joe Klein says it's literally Patricia.
But yeah, Patricia's right up there too. Especially considering with Patricia too, it's more to do with the fact that Quandre Diggs and Darius Slay, Matt Patricia completely alienated 2 of their best players. That he was coming in right after the Jim Caldwell era. Say what you want about Jim Caldwell, but they did go to the playoffs twice. They did have 3 winning seasons, and ownership literally was like 9-7 is not good enough. And Matt Patricia came in with quite a bit of hope, and then he just completely has a disastrous tenure from game 1, in which they got the opening pick 6 by Quandre Diggs, and then proceeded to be outscored 41-10 for the rest of the game by the Sam Darnold-led Jets. And it was all downhill from there. Disaster.
Bill Felsner says Patricia over Sam Flannel. So Bill has Sam Flannel at number 2 of most hated Detroit sports icons. And to be fair, the people the people backed him up on that. Mr. Detroit City says, "Yeah, I'd probably take Patricia over Flannel."
Wow.
That's a good take. But BD3 says Flannel Sam over Patricia.
Oh, yeah. Damn. I gotta say, you guys are tough. I would even take Flannel Sam over Patricia.
Interesting. Who set the organization back more in the WoodwardSports.com chat poll? Alavila, 77% of the vote.
Well, Alavila never won a trade, and he was allowed to stay for way too long. At least with Matt Patricia, to their credit, they fired him pretty promptly, and it looks like they've turned things around since then. With the Tigers, I think we all believe in Scotty Harris so far, but we don't even know if the Tigers will be able to get out of that hole. It's all an unknown. At least with the Lions, they look to have turned the corner, and they didn't give Matt Patricia forever.
No, it is true. Tigers lost again yesterday, by the way, on a bullpen day.
Dude, how about that? First batter, Schwarber yards it.
That's it.
And that's it, the whole game.
I thought El Mago was back. Like, that's what I was told. And he's swinging at balls 3 feet out of the strike zone.
What a microcosm of the season, the last couple games against Philadelphia, because the first game of the series, which they lost 8-3, I saw Joey Wentz getting paraded out onto the starting mound again to lose again during his 12th start, which he has an ERA over 7. And then in the next game, they actually pitch well on a bullpen day, give up 1 run, and don't score at all.
Is this the part of the season when, like, we were the Red Wings when we got excited until Ottawa put our lunch in? Is that
DMac.
where we were? I got to tell you, because I dialed in, and then yesterday I dialed in maybe like a little bit of the end of it. I caught the end of it because I was in the car. But other than that, I didn't seek it out. So I think that the rub's gone.
We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Is the rub gone?
We're going to talk about that because I have a confession to make about about all of
He's
that.
got another confession.
Yeah, get Usher in here. Get Usher in studio right now.
Foo
These are my
Fighters.
confessions. I am going to be out there. Hey, I have a confession for you. If you want the best insurance in the insurance game, there's only one move.
And that is Swiss Insurance, of course. Planning or sponsoring a golf outing this year? Ask Swiss Insurance about hole-in-one putting contest and $1 million shootout coverage. For a very affordable amount, you could give away a huge prize like $10,000 or a new car. Help build your business with big deals. Check out Swiss today, SwissINS.com, or you can call Mark at 248-800-4177. That is 248-800-4177, Swiss Insurance.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, JB Smoove here in the house. Spencer Raxter, hope to get him back tomorrow. Woodwardsports.com, chat, poll, who set the organization back more, Al Avila or Matt Patricia? Al Avila dominating 74% of the vote. Good. We talk about wildfires, and he built a wildfire throughout the whole Tigers organization and just burnt that thing to the ground. It's sad, man. It is. The more I hate even thinking about it, because I get past it and then I think about it and then I get sad again.
That doesn't mean you're past it then.
I feel
You're
like
not
I got
past
past
it,
it. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten, and I may never
You're
get
not.
past it.
The self-awareness too, that it's just it's sort of stop, take it all in, get out whatever you want to get out, and it's sort of like your dump zone.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Woodward Sports, because I did want to ask the question. Tiger season, is it officially done?
No, because you're in the division you're in. And you always have a chance because it sucks.
But they haven't won a game, what, five in a row?
They've lost 7 of 8 or something like that. Yeah, I don't think it's getting better. You know, hopefully, again, we want to see Riley Green come back. You're going to watch Torkelson. I mean, it's not must-see TV, right? Like, it's sort of...
But it's what I watch in the summer. It's what I watch.
Well, you know what? Pick up a new team. I don't know what to tell you. Pick up a new sport.
Well, you know, like, the Marlins are my B team.
They show cornhole on TV and stuff like that. You know that, right?
Yeah. Because I get the feeling that it is. Because you can't have a bullpen day where the bullpen comes in and are majestic.
So,
like they were yesterday. They were great. And they never had a chance.
You know what? We shouldn't. This is what we should say. Is the fairy tale over? Is the dream over? Because it's been a dream since the beginning of the season, the way that they've come out and played better than we thought they would. Isn't this what we're seeing now, what we expected? How we talked about them before the season started? Be prepared for this. Right? Now they lose their number one pitcher. Now they lose their number one prospect kid. You know, like it's set up. What is it? Who's their home run leader now? Is it Maton or Jake Rogers that's hitting 180?
They're tied. They're tied with 6.
How many?
Both hitting under 200.
And how many teams outside? And
None. I don't even. All I know is you're going to ask a question. You're just going to ask a question about a batting lineup. There are no other batting lineups like this.
Hey,
there are none.
You know what? Here's the one thing, right? And it was yesterday, and this is what I heard, and I'll repeat this. You know what it made me tell me how smoke and mirrors to, you know what your Jamer Candelario cleanup hitter opening day last year was? When Dan Dickerson said, and Akil Baddoo's worked so hard to get up to number 3 in the batting order. If Akil Baddoo's batting third for your team, that's how bad it is, right? And then he's struggled back to more regular water.
Yeah.
But really, that's your number 3 guy that should tell you everything. So to me, this is where I expected him to be.
Joe, I knew this was going to happen. And I will take pride in the fact to say, because I notice it's making the rounds in media around town right now, I'm proud of the fact that I was first to this party. Jonesy 51-82. Baez struck out watching 3 perfect pitches last night. Usually swings at everything. This guy is a bipolar hitter. And then Dante 151 just says it a little more succinctly. Says, I effing hate Baez so GD much. And hey, Dante, you know what, brother? Settle in, because he's here for 4 more years.
Do you know what the most depressing stat about Javi Baez is right now?
Player option.
No, I'll tell you.
Player option.
It's player option.
It's player option.
It's a player option. He's here for 4 more years.
No, I know that's the most distressing.
That is the most depressing stat. 4 years, $100 million.
Oh, I mean, you guys might have me beat on that one, but we talk about his on-base percentage, his average. What about his OPS? It begins with the number 5. That is beyond awful. That means that even he's not getting on base, he's not hitting for any power, and one of the worst players in all of Major League Baseball, hands down.
Yep. It is. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. And guys, you can't trade him. He's untradeable. So just stop. Save the energy in your fingers of typing that in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. This is your guy. He is here for 4 years. Unless you want to write the check.
I just see Jack Harrington, and he says, Jesus, you guys are stuck with him for 4 more years. And I can just see him thinking that, you know what, he'd rather have that crappy arena that he's got for his team than have Javi Baez. You're winning, Jack. You're winning. Suck it, Neal. That's what Jack says.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, there is no doubt about it. Wait a minute, I just came across this one. BD3, no Cabrera slander, please. I know you're not talking to me, BD3, because I instituted that rule. There will be none. Who, by the way, who was the only guy that got on base twice yesterday? Who was it?
I mean, it was Miguel Cabrera.
Okay.
Still
talking about, like the 3-for-3 game the last time they won a game. You know what I'm saying?
No, this isn't the day for me to really hit Miguel Cabrera hard because it's a whole team issue. They're losing, but I wouldn't flex a 286 on base percentage, but it's actually better than a lot of people.
That's been my point throughout this whole Miguel Cabrera thing. Like, everyone was coming down on him. I was like, look up and down this lineup. How's he different than anybody else? He's the exact same, except he's 38 with a Triple Crown and going to the Hall of Fame. And he's 38. You know what I'm saying? That's not an indictment on Miguel Cabrera. That's an indictment on the rest of this team. Miguel Cabrera can do whatever, man.
Absolutely.
He's got a free pass for me. I have nothing negative to say about Miguel Cabrera ever, and I won't. And for the people that are like, well, get his corpse out of here and stuff like that, no. Look around the rest of this lineup. You couldn't even pick out Miguel Cabrera's. These numbers that you say are so awful and how he's useless and things like that, if you took the names off, you wouldn't even be able to pick out Miguel Cabrera in that lineup.
He has no power,
you would pick 4 other players.
He's got no power though. That's fair. And I'm not saying it's his fault.
The team leader has 6 home runs. And they're hitting 180.
That's so
He
sad.
has no power. Again, pick him out of the lineup. You can't.
I disagree with that. But you know what? I'm not going to die on that hill because the whole team is just playing awful. I'll give you that. I will give you that.
Robert Colosia. But Neal Baez is 164th in total bases. 164th. Good Lord, man. Just... And remember a week ago when I said I'm going to parachute in and free roll it? Remember that? Remember that statement I made? I was like, look, I know they can't win. I know they can't.
But it's exciting.
But they're close and it's exciting. And all it's done is cost me pain. That's all it's done. Like, hey, remember, those are my words. I'm going to parachute in right now and be like, hey, Whatever.
No.
And look at me now. And not even because of it, because I'm going to be like this anyway. Again, I deserve it. 100% I deserve it. I was going to watch regardless, because I always watch. It's like the Tigers are my Oak Island. I know there's not going to be any gold. I know.
Oak Island has more gold than the Tigers. Said.
Do they?
I'm going to find gold. Oak Island will win it.
I'll say this.
Gold.
They find more gold than Javi Baez gets on base. There's a higher percentage of gold found.
So you believe in the gold on Oak Island more than you believe in Javi Baez?
Yep. Yes, I do. Then Javi Baez getting on base. Again, I go back to this stat, everybody. You were more likely to have the Red Wings win the NHL lottery to get Connor Bedard, which they had a 5% chance of, than a major league pitcher is of walking Javi Baez. You were more likely to win the NHL draft lottery than you are to walk Javi Baez. Mathematically, that's a factual statement. He's 4 for 42 again. I'm just happy that I started this. I'm glad to see that finally he's getting the heat he does. No more, oh, Mago's hot. We're past that now.
Yeah, but you don't think that he's going to go on that like a hot streak for a few games and then people will say he's back again and you don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what?
Are you
DMac,
done?
You know what?
Like, are you hate? So are you quietly, and it's not a hate watching the Tigers, but you're just going to be like mourn. Are you mourn watching the Tigers this year?
You know what, DMac? I want him to go on a hot streak because I want that. I want that in the Woodward Sports chat thread. I want that on Twitter. I want it. I do. I want it to happen.
You don't want us to be all on the same page when it comes to our sports
I don't.
teams?
Because I want to know who's who. Like now that we've all kind of hit rock bottom together, I want him to get hot so you can all identify yourselves. All the El Mago crowd. I want it. So then that way I know who the enemy is. Because this guy, is this the worst contract? My buddies and I were talking about this. Is this the worst contract in Detroit sports history?
Well, the first thing that sparks the alarm in my head is that you're bringing up contracts. You're the money guy. So that tells me that it's in the conversation for the top three, probably.
It has to be.
Right? And maybe that's something that people could think about. What are other bad contracts? Obviously, I'll go back to recent history, but when Kenny Holland decided to sign Johan Franzen instead of Marian Hossa to the long-term deal because of injuries and concussions, that turned out to be not the best deal. But Kenny Holland's got also the Stephen Weiss deal, the Franz Nielsen deal.
The Franz Nielsen one.
There's different ones
egregious.
like that. So would the Franz Nielsen deal be more equivalent to the Baez, but not even that bad because you can get out from under it. Baez has got you by the schnuggies.
Yeah. And it's $150 million. Not $36 million like Franz Nielsen at 36 years old.
But just to the market and to the value and stuff like this.
It is comparable, though. The production is comparable. Go look at those. Flannel, you love numbers. Go look at Franz Nielsen. Look at those numbers, please.
I've perused them. Trust me. Since you brought that up many times, they're sobering. I will just say that they're worse than you might even think.
Like you think they're bad.
Yeah.
And people have made this comparison. They're like Juan Gonzalez to Javi. Not even close. Juan still hit 22 home runs.
Juan got Higginson 30 and 100.
You know what I'm saying? Like he had his moments. There's been nobody. He had the opening day hit. That was the moment, right?
Yeah. And name me one Detroit Tiger right now who has an 840 OPS. It doesn't exist. Juan Gonzalez did that, and supposedly he was a disaster.
You see what I'm saying, man? Like at D's 411, Damian Easley went to an All-Star game. Can't say that about Damian. I think led the league in doubles one year too. This is historically bad. So we don't even realize it.
And you're going so you add in production and you add in what you've gotten out of it. The return on investment. Is this, maybe that's the question. Is this the worst return on investment? Because you still can't get out of it.
There's nowhere to run. He holds the cards.
Well, sometimes, man, there's different ways. You talk
Can you? I just want you to put yourself in his shoes. I know we got to get to the break. And all of you out there, too, watching Big D Energy, put yourself in these shoes. So Javi Baez this season, we watch it, swinging at pitches 3 feet out of the strike zone. Put yourself in the shoes of it's October 1st or whenever the season ends. And you have to decide, well, I know I hit 200 this year and had a 260 on-base percentage. Do I opt into this 4 years, $100 million contract? Or do I decline it and go to the free agency market? D-Mac, can you even imagine being in that spot?
You mean he hasn't decided already?
Just play along with me here, D-Mac. Could you even imagine
Yeah,
that?
because then it's more or less, every strikeout, then it's a little bit easier. That's what I want at the end of the year. What's he getting paid per strikeout?
As much as he strikes out, probably about 30 cents per strikeout, as much as he strikes out.
What's he getting paid? $10 million a walk?
Yeah. John Marks, Dean Palmer was a bad contract. Not true, John. Dean Palmer had some good years here. Got hurt at the end of it, and it was over. But I think he had a 30 home run year, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was high 20s. Dean Palmer was my guy. I love Dean Palmer. Hey, Planet Fitness. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. You guys know the deal. $1 down, $10 a month, access to your home club. That's great. I was in Planet Fitness this morning over here in Troy on Maple Road. That's my spot. The crew in there, they're awesome. Love it at Planet Fitness. Clean facility, tons of cardio equipment. When you got idiots like me on the treadmill for an hour, it doesn't matter because there's many treadmills around me. You're not waiting for stuff on there. Transitions nicely right into the weights. Never waiting for anything at Planet Fitness. You're on the go a lot. You're working around town. There's over 50 Planet Fitnesses throughout the Metro Detroit area. Over 2,400 of them available worldwide. You get access to all of it with the Black Card. Just $24.99 a month. Guys, look, I'm just being real. It's not on the script here or anything. Some of you are at your gyms, you're paying $50, $60, $70 a month. Cool rock wall they have there. How often are you using the rock wall, guys? For real. Planet Fitness is the only play. The best value in the gym game. That's just me telling you from my experience. I've been at Planet Fitness 3 years. I'll always be at Planet Fitness. That's just the way that it is. Go to planetfitness.com. You can join there. Pull in the parking lot. You can join there. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, JB Smoove here in the house. Spencer will be back with us tomorrow. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump into there and make sure you subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast. iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. If you'd be so kind, give DMac a 5-star review. Just say, hey, Sam Flannel sucks. I love Darren McCarty, 5-star. Yeah. Should we get that running throughout the reviews?
Yeah.
Can we get a thread going to that? Just do that, guys. Say, hey, 5 stars. I rated it 5 stars because I love Darren McCarty, but Sam Flannel does suck.
I prefer you didn't, but you know what? Just give it the 5-star.
Yeah. Well, you can't have one without the other, Flannel.
You're making people feel, Sam. That's all it is.
Yeah. Fair enough.
You know, somebody's got to make them feel awful. That's you.
We were having this Tigers discussion that just evolved into how much people dislike Javi Baez. BD3 says, when does DMac start his calendar for the Tigers is a better question. DMac, you do not have permission to even start a calendar.
I don't.
Right now.
I said when it's under 1,000 games, I might think about starting it.
Yeah.
Somebody else said was most poignant. It's a sundial right now. Right? That was whoever said that. It was spot on. We thought we were out of it. We thought maybe hey, there was. I'm going to tell you, we were in the back room talking, and we walked into the clock room right? And we checked out and we were thinking, hey, we might have to bring the clock out. Guess what? Nope, we're not visiting that room. Smoke and mirrors. Baya's got us. It's not good. Neal's going to mourn watch. It's not hate watching, it's mourn watching. That means that the bourbon's going to be a little bit extra, a couple little extra
and a little
drops
higher
in there
proof.
to suffer through.
I'll be busting out the higher proof
Higher
stuff for
proof,
game
see?
nights.
Doing you a favor.
I think I'm going to do that tonight.
But so here's the whole thing. You can't start the clock because I don't see a way out yet.
A Tiger sundial.
The Tiger sundial.
We need a.
Can we get a Tiger sundial, please? We need somebody just to create
and just
a
Roman numerals in
That's
1,000-year increments.
That's
around.
it.
A Tiger's sundial. You've heard of the Lion's clock? We have the Tiger's sundial. Good Christ. WoodwardSports.com chat poll is closed. Is the Tiger season officially done? 65% of you say yes. And to be honest, I'm surprised it was that high because they're only 4 games out. I'm not falling for that again. It's over. OVA. Get Drake in here. OVA.
Until they go on a run again.
No, we're done.
Hey, can we just clip this? Can we clip this in the back just so I can play it again when they go on their run and everybody's all hyped?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. The bullpen is pitching. And to be fair,
the bullpen.
I wanted this.
Yes.
I did. I wanted this. That's why when Flannel brought up Joey Wentz earlier, look, I'm not saying it's over, and I'm not giving up on Joey Wentz. And as critical as I've been of Torkelson, to some degree, sometimes not fair, because Tork didn't really get that minor league extended run that most rookies are afforded. I have not thrown in the towel on Torkelson. I have not. I have not thrown in the towel on Wentz.
I don't think anybody's
nobody
throwing
has.
the towel on Torkelson.
Right. It's disappointing. I'm concerned, and that's fair. I bet you if you were having a bourbon with some people in the organization, they would say, you know what I'm saying? They're not. It's not over by any means. But okay, that
Now's
being
the
said,
time.
Joey Wentz. All right, I'm not throwing in the towel on him. I'm not saying it's over. ERA can't be in the 8s, man.
Nope.
It can't be.
And
You can't start games in this league with an ERA in the 8s.
Well, and just for this season at this moment in time, Joey Wentz is unstartable. You can't keep like playing him out there and just having him keep starting games and keep getting shelled. It's malfeasance at this point.
Yeah.
I haven't given up on him either. Although if he keeps doing this, the clock on Joey Wentz I think will start to begin to run out.
And again, I like the velocity. I like the stuff. Everybody says stuff. I do. It's just I wanted them to sit him down. And my Tiger text buddies that I go back and forth with, we have like a Tigers text thread. They were like, for what, Neal? And bring up who? And I said, somebody else. I don't have the answer. Somebody else. And that's where I suggested the bullpen. Like, do the bullpen day thing. What did the Rays do when they didn't have starters? Bullpen days. It's a viable option, and they did it yesterday with great success.
And it's more. It seems more to the norm in 2023 baseball, right? Figuring out a way to get by. So, yeah. Why is it over? Because you waste that performance from a bullpen.
Steven Syrett says Brisky and Skubal coming back soon, and Carpenter. Okay. And look, the Skubal thing. Yes,
see,
there's a lot
that'll be
of
interesting. I'll be tuned in
Yeah.
to see how he pitches.
Well, he's pitching
like
at West
that.
Michigan on Friday night.
Good.
And you know what, guys?
He's a big boy too.
Yeah,
he's bigger than I thought.
You want to hear something sick for the way I talk about him on this microphone? I'll dial up Dan Hasty and listen to the West Michigan game on Friday night.
Oh, he's savage.
I
Dan
will.
Does a great job though. Shout out to Dan.
When I get in the car after I'm done doing Detroit City, I will Bluetooth the West Michigan Whitecaps game. I will do that 100%, without a doubt. So I will. But excuse me if Bo Brisky and Kerry Carpenter, I don't equate them to the cavalry coming on the horses. Like they're not coming to save us. Like, help us.
At least anytime soon.
Yeah, Kerry Carpenter, help us.
Speaking of people who have on-base percentages that start with a 2, Kerry Carpenter. Just saying. I know a lot of people feel that he's played better, but if you look at his numbers, he doesn't get on base either.
But who does?
Zach Short, actually.
Right?
Zach McKinstry.
Zach McKinstry and Zach Short. They actually do.
Zach Attack.
That's that's
the
it.
Zach Attack, baby. Let's go.
Zach and Zach.
Zach and Zach's.
When we do the 999 game, if they're both still on the roster, I'll bring a sign that says the Zach Attack.
The Zach Attack, absolutely. And you wear short, or I'll wear short. You wear McKinstry, and there we go. We got it all set.
The poster.
Absolutely.
The Zach Attack.
I'll even
Can you
make
picture
it.
me sitting in?
Absolutely.
Because we got to sit in the upper deck for the game. We have to.
Oh.
That's on brand. Can you picture me with a poster board sign?
Zach Attack. I'm all in. Yeah, I can. And I'll hold you accountable to hold it.
And spend most 4 beers and 4 hot dogs deep as we're in the 3rd inning. He's just kind of pounding his hot dog, and I'm sitting up there with a Zach Attack sign. The Zach Attack.
Absolutely.
Hand drawn.
We'll put their OPS on there. Right, circle
I'll
it.
have one next to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God! Ryan's reaction. We need Neal behind the catcher on TV for that one.
Yeah, we should just be out in camera view.
Cyrus says wear jorts and a sweater.
That'll be flannel.
Oh my gosh!
You know he will. That'll be good. Maybe we should have some protection. You know what? I might have to give a call to. You know him, you love him, Guardian Alarm. You can let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real expert professional technicians that take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know the Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Yes, real people. Homo sapiens. Your safety, security deserves technology that's been proven to work, and flesh and blood, yes, real people who have been proven to care. Yes, we've been talking about it all show. They even care about Sam Flannel's flannel protection. How many straight days, Flannel?
292.
292 straight days of flannel protection. If you have something personal or business that is just as important to you, please give Guardian Alarm a call today. Here's the number, 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of finals MVP consideration, Jimmy Butler. Unless you pump those numbers up, those are rookie numbers.
Plus 450.
Stay out of the batting lineup tonight, Javi Bias. You just need a night off, bro.
Strike three. Guardian Alarm. Your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy. We sent you.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Oh, look at that. Final segment of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward's. There can't be a show that goes by faster than this one. Sam Flannel, is that you work on all the shows?
This is top 5 for sure.
It's cooked.
Did you say top 5?
There's only
4
shows
on the network.
Definitely this one. I thought you meant the totality of all the shows we've ever done. It's definitely number 1 on this network. Big D Energy.
Okay.
And
I like it.
You know what it is? It's because of you guys out there in the chat thread, the WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and following is the biggest part.
That is true.
It's the interaction,
Yeah.
and I look forward if it would be so boring. We just sat here and had no interaction. So nobody does it like you there,
No.
Neal, and we appreciate everybody, whether we agree or not, whether it's a cat spot or not. Everybody's welcome.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Some of you guys are cracking on the Tigers, too. Todd saying, somebody tell me how they always seem to have so many injuries. It's effing baseball. I read it the way I would have said it if I could put myself in your shoes,
And Dan
Todd.
Wood with a Sam meat riding Neal again. Meat rider. Bozos and meat riders right here. Big D Energy. Stoked. Not scared. All bricked up in one.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Meat Riders.
Meat rider.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. This one's
I'm bringing
pretty
a meat
good.
rider sign to the ball game too.
Meat Riders,
Zack Attack.
The
I'm
Zack
gonna have
Attack.
a whole 10 signs. It's gonna be Louis Dango, the old sign guy.
999.
Yeah, all of it. 999 888. Hey, we gotta X them all out.
Yeah.
As Spenny does them.
Honolulu Blue Sparty. I'd chip in an Abe Lincoln to the Get Javi Out GoFundMe. Can we put that one on the chat poll real quick? Would you put an Abe Lincoln on the Get Javi Out GoFundMe? Just a quick flash poll. Would you put your money where your mouth is? Could we get? So what?
If you knew that the 5 would actually
go to getting him out of town,
mean something that enough 5s would be collected.
Yeah, we would only need what? 25 million. 30 million. We would need 30 million 5s.
Well, just for everyone who's listening, skip your expensive Starbucks drink and just give it to the Get Rid of Javier Baez Fund.
Would you
Once
do
a
that
month?
for one? I'm asking you. Would you, the people, wouldn't you give?
Where's the music?
Wouldn't you give just $5 to get Javi Baez out of town?
There it is.
You can make the difference. You can help your Detroit Tigers get Javi Baez and his .280 on base percentage out of town. Think about it. No more watching him swing and miss at balls 3 feet out of the strike zone. You can do it. We can do it. Just $5. That's all we ask to get Javi out of town. What do you think? Was that heartfelt?
I think they should send the 5 to Big D Energy. We'll collect it all.
Yeah.
Right? All 30 million.
I'll take just a slight administrative fee.
There's an administrative fee on there. Maybe you have to send 505.
Yeah, just to facilitate it.
Facilitate.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wonder, would the people do that? And JB Smooth's got it up on the poll right now. Would you put an Abe Lincoln to get rid of Javi Baez? I would. If it were guaranteed to go for getting Javi Baez out of town, I would.
I put a Benny on it for him not to resign, for him to opt out. Hey, 5 to get him to leave and 100 not to take the contract.
Eric Burrow says, I'd give $1 for everyone in the chat. Like, think about it. So DMacs in at 100 already. Eric Burrow's in at 300. Boom, that's 400 right there. I'll put my 5 in. That's 405. Like, we're on our way to 150 million. We can
do it.
We should have a telethon here at Woodward, 24 hours.
Trying to reach 150 million to buy out.
Just show after show comes on. Oh my God.
Funny.
That would be cool. Honolulu Blue Sparty says, do it for the children.
You know what? I would rather invest that $5 into the Zack Attack.
Into the Zack Attack sign.
Absolutely.
Oh,
at least
man.
we're getting some return.
Easy. See, Daniel Bridger's got to go and ruin the integrity of it with some crazy ish saying, I give $5 for every Javi strikeout. You don't have that kind of money. We need.
This guy's a bazillionaire. He can buy out Javi's 150 million himself.
Yeah.
This guy's just flat balling right there. You braggart.
Steven Siret says El Magothon. Welcome back,
The
everybody,
El Magothon.
to hour number 18 of El Magothon. I'm Neal Ruhl, your host. Yes, I've been up for 18 straight hours.
Strike 3.
But it's
Swing and
because I
miss.
believe in the cause.
Whoa.
I just want him out of town, and he ain't going nowhere. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. E. Schaefer says, I bet he has 2 furnaces. WoodwardSports.com chat poll. Would you put up an Abe Lincoln to get rid of Javi Baez? Only 86% of the people say yes. I'm not focused on them. I'm focused on the 14% of the people that say no, DMac.
Hey, you know what? That Starbucks is so important. Or your Birmingham roast. You can get it for cheaper. $3 here.
Mr. Detroit City for the boys. Hashtag don't sing it, bring it. Contributed $5. So there, well, we weren't literal, but you know we'll put this in the pot.
But you win.
But you do win, Mr. Detroit City. He didn't talk about it. He beat
was
about
about it.
Yeah, absolutely. People saying inflation is tough. No doubt. No doubt it is. Steve says, you know, if Baez left, he'd be a perennial all-star every year after. No, he's cooked. He's absolutely cooked. It's over. Like the show is over. Good work today.
Who you like tonight?
Oh, that's right. Hockey.
Is it hockey or basketball?
Or basketball tonight. Hockey's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I gotta think Denver's gonna do it. I was stunned to see Denver's 3-point, 2.5-point favorite. I was stunned. That's a lot.
Yeah. I think they bounce back, though. At this point, they're almost at the point where they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to at least split the next two and get
100%.
home court back.
Yeah, stay tuned tomorrow because Neal's got to get
I got to get right
pick
for the people
for
tomorrow.
You. He's been doing it all week.
The opportunity presents itself. I'll give you the reasons. And my favorite thing about him is I give you the reasons, and you can watch how it plays out at home. And I got good reasons, Flannel.
He's got good reasons.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. And you'll notice it. And I expect a text from you when you see it play out that way. Until tomorrow, for DMac, for Sam Flannel, for JB Smooth.
Deuces.
All of you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.